Yo, welcome to Behind the Baller. You are listening to episode 15. And I'm your host, Ben Baller. Not Ben Humble. And if you've been tuning in, you already know the Forrest Gump of hip hop. Well, today, that shit comes into fruition times infinity. I got a very special guest on the show today. He goes by the name of Kareem Biggs Burke, aka Hoffa, aka 1/3 of the Roc-A-Fella Records empire, co-founder, COO, all that. This episode is so fucking crucial, man, just because this is a 20 plus year friend of mine. He's enormous. He's a giant in the game. He is responsible for being part of one of the biggest rap record labels in history. And I'm hoping today serves as some validation because, I was a part of that shit, small part, but still, I was there. A lot of people say, oh, don't worry about your past and all this shit and everything else. Listen, man, when you got a past like mine, you should worry about that shit because it's what made me today, who I am today. So anyways, yeah, man, this week's been fucking crazy. I just got back from Vegas. And as soon as I got back, well, actually, before I even got back, London had been getting sick again. And you already know, man, I told you we had a really good run for a while. But right now, something's been going around, some nasty-ass flu, and it hit his school pretty hard. It hit Ryder. So Ryder was home. So we got both the boys who were in school at home. And that just drives my wife fucking crazy. And when it drives her fucking crazy, it drives me fucking nuts. And it just makes me want to fucking break everything in the fucking world. Do you know what I mean? Like little small shit. Oh, you're out of ketchup? All right, pull my gun out. Fuck what, bitch? What? Like that level of fucking anger comes out when my kids are like, and when my wife is irritated and shit, and just, man, it's a lot of work. Parenthood is no fucking joke. So yeah, with that said, both my kids were home all week. I got back and I had motherfucking diarrhea because was out drinking and shit, eating fucking terrible. Paul had diarrhea all fucking week. It was just fucking crazy. Speaking of shit, oh my God, man. I went to my store today and I went real quick just to go grab the Murakami pieces because I'm going to Tokyo. By the time this episode airs, I will be on my way to Tokyo and I'm heading to Tokyo to do press for the Murakami collaboration. This shit is the real deal. Like, this is official. I'm fucking super geeked about it. And I got a lot of people I got to hit up out there and everything. But, yeah, man, I went to my store today to go grab the pieces. And you got to remember, the Beverly Center did a $600 million renovation, maybe even more. So, like we got Prada, Fendi, Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Versace, Saint Laurent, all high-end shit, right? Tiffany. And the bathroom is right by our store. And I go in there. I'm washing my hands, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I fart. I fart, not really tripping. There's 3 urinals. Don't even know why. I wasn't paying attention. But I go wash my hands, and I'm like, God damn, did I fart that fucking bad? It smells terrible in here. I'm like, fuck. I start thinking about my own health. Start thinking like, you know what? I wonder, they say like when shit smells really bad or whatever, and just like, man, this shit just can't be good, right? I'm thinking something's wrong with my inside. You know what I mean? Like I'm rotten inside. And so this dude's waiting outside the bathroom. This white guy, and he's like, sir, excuse me, sir. And I thought he's talking to me. He's talking to the janitor. He's like, yeah, somebody did something really bad in there. Yeah, he did something really bad in the stand-up stall. I don't know what the fuck this guy was doing. He was just trying to be super proper or whatever else. And I was like, wait, so what? I was like, bro, I was in the, what the fuck are you talking about? And he goes, yeah, something really bad just happened in the stand-up stall. And I was like, wait, the urinal? What stand-up stall? What the fuck are you talking about? There's urinal and then there's a motherfucking booth. What are you talking about? You know what I'm saying? The shit? What? And he's like, someone just said something really bad in there. I was like, oh, I want to know because I own the store next door. So you tell me what's going on. He goes, well, you just got to go and check. So I go back in there after I've washed my hands and taken a piss. And I look in the 3rd urinal and there's a steamy, hot pile of shit in the fucking urinal. All right. Now, this is a semi-decent high urinal. You know what I mean? And I'm 6 feet tall, right, with my shoes on. So like, I might have lost an inch over the years, but what I'm saying is, this is a grown man urinal. And if you look up, you'll see like, the urinal has the top part and the middle part and obviously the bottom. The top and middle is fucking sprayed with chocolate stains all over. I'm talking about shit stains, just fucking shit stains and fucking, I'm thinking about throwing up right now, just thinking about it right now. And then there's this fucking steamy, just a straight shit emoji in the fucking bottom of the urine. I don't know, man. And why did I bring this up? Because I don't know, because I was talking about fucking being sick and whatever it may be. But on a good note, I got to eat at Tocaya. I might have mentioned it before, but yeah, Tocaya is an all organic Mexican restaurant. Definitely on the more expensive side. It's not on Chipotle level. It's a whole different level besides that. Food's really good. They're actually using spices and all kinds of crazy, I wouldn't even say fusion, just really futuristic Mexican food. And everything has a vegan option. And like, just my meal alone was almost $30. So, that's it's kind of expensive, you know what I'm saying, for Mexican food. But it's really good. Everything's grass fed, if it's mean or organic or free range, and all the good shit, all that fancy shit, all that good shit's in there, and it's fucking delicious. So I did that. Anyways, do not forget, there are, I think, 1 or 2 Murakami pieces available, and these are all pre-sale. Do you know what I mean? Like, when we release this in the first week of November, this shit's gonna be gone, and I'm just doing this on the low because I have no idea what's going on. But if you are really serious about picking up a Murakami Ben Baller collaboration piece, and these are the Murakami flowers. There are 3 in a black colorway and then 3 in a rainbow colorway. Now the rainbow is an alternate. You've never seen this rainbow before. If you're a big fan of his pillows and his art and everything, you've seen it because he's done so many different renditions of the flower. The black is black and amethyst. It's black and purple. It's fucking beautiful. We never done that before either. And these are rare, super rare collaborations. The utmost finest gemstones and diamonds possible. 18 karat gold. These motherfuckers are solid. Yes, they spin. These are everything. Again, they come with a crazy authenticity card. They're going for $50,000 each. There is a series of 3 and 2 colorways. So there's 6 total, but I think there's only 2 available left. I need to contact James. And right about now, I gotta say thank you to my cousin James. James is my cousin Steve's little brother, and he's a grown ass man. He's 30 or 31 years old, and he runs the shop. He runs the business and everything. And I have to say this to be completely honest. If it wasn't for him, our business could not be where it is today. We couldn't be a real business. We couldn't be in the Belly Center. We couldn't have a real online store. There's a lot of things that he's done to further elevate this business and just take us to another level. And he's always thinking of ways to make the business better. I know he wishes I was around more. It's just tough because of my schedule and everything, and just where I'm at mentally. But I got to thank James because people think I'm an asshole. And the thing is, James has to be an asshole sometimes. And I don't think he has no ill intention at all whatsoever. This is just the nicest guy in the fucking world. And he's my cousin, and I look at him like he is my dongsang, if you're Korean, you know what that means. But he's a grown-ass man too. And sometimes I forget that, he's a grown man, it's just because I've known him since he's a little baby. But James is he's turned the business to make it official. When we were in the Slauson, we were just fucking, it was just, a free, just, I don't even know what to fucking call it. We were a business technically, but we were not organized at all. He came in and made it look 10 times bigger than it was. But to tell you the truth, the work was already out there and just amazing. He just took us to that next level. And I think sometimes I might release some of my fury on him, and my cousin Steve, his older brother, might, let a little bit out on him as well. And so with all that, he has nowhere to release it except to, whether it be our employees or our vendors and people like that. And just, man, James does fucking everything. And I was about to give his fucking email address out. Thank God I fucking didn't. Anyways, man, if you're interested in the piece, hit up info@ifnco.com for the Murakami piece. What else we got going on? We got, like I said, I have been a part of a lot of cool shit. I've released some cool things. I've released some cool clothes. A couple small little, just like cool little collaborations, things that people have loved, and, the essentials and stuff. But on October 14th at 6 p.m. Pacific time, this is no hype, or as you young kids say, no cap. I fucking hate that term. I am dropping an all gold money counter. This shit is so fucking boss. I can't explain it enough. An all gold money counter is coming out, and I'm doing it with Network, NTWRK Network. Shout out to my boy Aaron Levant. He's a fucking genius. He's the next fucking, the fuck's his name? Warren Buffett. That's who he is. He's the streetwear nouveau Warren Buffett. Anyways, I'm dropping on network October 14th, 6 p.m. in all gold money counter. I think later this week I have to drop a video. The shit is so fucking boss. It's just crazy. I got one yesterday and I haven't stopped fucking playing with it. It is so fucking dope. I don't know what else to say. But right about now, I'm about to cut to a commercial. So yo, Miles, cue up some music real quick before we get to this little sponsor from Collect. All right. So right now I gotta talk about a Collect giveaway. KLEKT giveaway. They're doing a Nike Sakai giveaway. You know those sick ass fucking waffle Sakai shoes? You know what I'm talking about, with like they're the old school retro runner, but they have like a little bit of elevated sole, the midsole, and it has like the little like, looks like a goddamn, like a flying saucer at the end of it. Shit is so boss, right? And with that, Collect is celebrating new features and worldwide availability together with me, Ben Baller. And they're giving away the most popular Nike X Sakai of the year. The Nike Sakai LDV LD waffle in Summit White. Bitch is gangster as a motherfucker. So here's how you join. 1. Follow at Collect, KLEKT. 2. Follow at Ben Baller. All right. You're going to comment, quote, Ben Baller podcasting, quote, and your US sneaker size. When you see that picture, you're going to comment that, okay? We drop in that picture. The raffle lasts until next Wednesday, October 2nd, and that's at 11:59 Central European time. I didn't do the motherfucking math, so I don't know what the shit that is in New York or LA time. But just know, in Central European time, because I have podcasts, people who listen to podcasts all over the world, at 23:59 military time, or global 24-hour clock time. And the raffle ends Wednesday, October 2nd. The winner will be announced in this post. Good luck. Make sure to check out the Behind the Baller podcast. Much love to you guys. Much love to my Crep Protect family. All right? Yo, Miles, hit me with a little Lakey beat. So, yo, man, we got a very special guest today on Behind the Baller. It's an old friend of mine. We're talking 23 years or so. Kareem Biggs Burke. What's good, man?
What's good, family? What's the word?
Man,
all this expensive shit in here. I don't even know what to do right now.
Yo, I don't really have a lot of people up in here. You know how we get down. So, look, I just want to get right into it. I know you're a busy dude. I know you got to go meet with some billionaires and shit. So, yo, man, you from Harlem?
Harlem,
like
New York.
You uptown.
Colonial Projects.
What projects?
Colonial.
What street is that?
156 and 8th Avenue. So if people are familiar with the Roc-A, on 155th Street, is Projects Polo Grounds right across the street.
Okay, I know.
And then right next to that is Colonial Projects.
So what part was the Alpo and AZ, and where is they from? I
mean, those are two different parts. AZ is from West Side, and the other guy is from the East Side.
What side are you on?
West Side.
Okay, so
yeah.
Did you know any of them cats or no?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't talk about one. You know what I mean? So, I'm not into talking to anybody who went in. But yeah, I mean, I'm familiar with everybody.
Okay, that's what's up. So, I mean, tell me about Harlem, man. Your childhood there. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, yeah. So, born in Colonial Projects, moved around, then ended up living in the Bronx, but always hung in Harlem. But home base for us was 142nd, 141st, and Lenox. So that was home base for us. That's where my man Rel was. That's where I met Dame at. And the next block over, 140th, you got Cameron, Big L. Up the block, you got Loon, 139th. You know what I'm saying? So
I went to high school with Loon, bro. It's crazy. Well, I mean, he moved over to Beverly Hills for whatever reason. And went to school.
But
and then
it's just so funny that a 2-block radius, all this talent is right there. Herb McGruff.
McGruff is from there?
Yeah, 140th.
Hold on, wait a second.
McGruff, Cam.
Who'd
and
you
then
say
Big
before?
L.
Who'd you say Big L? Oh, shit.
Big L is 139th.
Rest in
140th
peace,
is
man.
Cam McGruff, and then 140th on 7th you got Loon, and we right across the street too.
That's crazy.
So all of us came up together.
Dame's from the west side or from the east side? Hold on.
Dame is from the east side, but that was home base for him
Yeah,
too.
because he was kicking it with y'all, right?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm sorry to get sidetracked. Everything. Were you involved in Paid in Full? I forgot.
Yeah. I mean, anything that came through Roc-A-Fella,
Yeah.
all of us involved in, right?
Okay.
So whether I do something and their name isn't on it, they're involved in it.
No, I feel you.
You know what
it's
I'm
just
saying?
like when people say jewelry and shit, it'd be like, yo, was Bemba? Come on,
Yeah.
man. Like,
yeah, exactly.
all right. So you met Dame back in well, obviously in Harlem.
Yeah, through my brother Bob. Yeah.
And what year was that? Do you remember?
Shit, I was 15. I don't know, 90 something.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Early
I don't-
90s.
Yeah, like 90 probably.
Yeah, 90, right?
Yeah.
So what year did you meet Jay-Z then?
I met Jay probably 3 years after that. So I probably met Jay around 18. I met Dame probably 15, 14 actually.
When we did the Reasonable Doubt 20, the RD20, the 20th anniversary Reasonable Doubt, you broke down some stories, and I know this for Complex is different. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, my followers are really like, I got a real good mixture of hip hop heads,
Yeah.
sneaker heads, whatever, culture people, but a lot of them may not fuck with Complex. So some of this stuff may sound not necessarily repetitive, but this is
That's all
like
good.
this is the thing. So yeah, so I mean, like when you met Jay, what in your mind decided you to be like, all right, fuck this, let's start a label?
I didn't. So I actually met Jay on another note, and we became friends, me, him, and Dame. So before that, they used to play music and whatever it is. I particularly didn't like Jay's sound at that time. You know, he was rhyming fast. This was before I can't get with that. So I was just like, all right, he's cool or whatever, but it didn't really speak to me what he was talking about. Right. So it wasn't until after the battle with him and DMX when I became a believer in his talent.
What year was that battle?
Man, that had to be
Roughly
94.
Hey yo, as soon as I grab it, I eat it up like a savage. And no, I don't have it. I get it together like a marriage. I see you no rappers. I'm on my P's and Q's and carrots. You don't understand? Well, goddamn, don't y'all know my status? I got my hand on your throat and my eye on your girl. Jay-Z, the greatest niggas back, and I shook up the world. I let it spot like a glow in the dog clock. My job is done. Peace. I'm back to the block.
All right, and so y'all become homies.
Yeah, we become homies. And then, you know, so him and Dame is managing him, working on music. I just started to support, right? So just helping with videos and stuff and bringing a lifestyle element to it, right? The crystal, the cars, the jewelry,
right,
and that type of stuff. And then, you know, I guess taking a, almost like a road manager type of job without having a title. And then we decided to put it together and us three and become Roc-A-Fella. They had the name already as well too. So shout out to Tone Hooker, who
Tone. Okay.
yeah, because he came up with that name just in case people don't know.
Okay, so whose idea was it originally? Was it Dame's or was it Jay's? Was it?
I'm not sure. Well, I know Dame told Tone to come up with a name for a crew. And
No, I'm talking about whose idea was it for like to finally put in a formation?
both of them came to me.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it was something that they both came and we all sat down.
So okay, so you were COO kind of, right? Co-founder, COO, or what was your title? Like, I mean, I
Chief
forgot.
consultant.
Chief
yeah.
consultant.
So CCO.
So Dame was CEO,
and then
Jay was
COO.
CEO. Okay. I never asked you this in all my life, but I've known you a lot. I mean, I've known you for half my life. How much money did you guys initially invest in the Roc-A-Fella?
I don't really talk about that or say what the number is or who invested what. I want to say that everybody put in sweat equity, whether it was money or whatever
That's
it is.
love.
And we all came together and, you know what I'm saying, did it. So it was still equal value no matter who did what.
No, I feel you.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember when you was talking about battles and shit, right?
Yeah.
And you knew Jay after you heard Jay Bell X, right? Am I crazy or? And I'm sorry, man. Pardon my ignorance because he's Brooklyn. Did Jay ever meet Big L?
Yeah, and they battled.
That's what I thought, right? They battled,
Yeah,
right?
so I wasn't there that day. So what happened is it was a little discrepancy on the block, and then they brought Jay uptown. So Jay came to the block, and then when L came down, he was like, "Oh, I know him. I won't battle him, but I'll rap with him." And then they both was going back and forth rapping.
Okay.
And then Jay left with the respect of the block that day. It wasn't a who won and who lost, but the block respected him because he came uptown and did it on his block, and he gained fans.
I mean, a lot of cats here to follow me. The not sad thing, but just the reality of it is, a lot of my followers are under the age of 30.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't know my history. That's why I did this enormous background podcast. I did 2 series of it. One of them was almost 3 hours, and I broke down, my history. And like one thing I never mentioned to you guys is Big L became one of my favorites, and by that time he'd already died. You know what I mean? And it was unfortunate. Flamboyant. I never really even thought about that word until because he had Flamboyant Entertainment.
Yeah.
You knew L, right? Personally?
Yeah, man. I went to junior high school together. Oh, so it was kind of funny seeing these people rap because you're friends with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
but he was nice, bro.
No, I know, but you know how it is when you're a kid. Then you're like, wait, you do what?
Okay, you want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
Do you remember you was working with Pro Kids, right? And this is off the top of my dome. I ain't seen you in 3 or 4 years. Maybe, about 4 years. I see you in Vegas at Magic. Yeah. And you're like, yo, I heard you was doing jewelry now. What the fuck you talking about?
Exactly.
You looked at me crazy.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, what are you doing? You had the grills and all that. You had Magic. I'm like, yo, what are you doing? Like, yo, fam, what are you talking about jewelry?
But look where I'm at now.
Exactly.
I mean,
That's what I'm saying. The same type of thing.
L,
yeah.
Damn. He had to have it gifted in him, bro. Like I've always been a jewelry. Back in the day, I like jewelry. It just sometimes it doesn't translate. I tell people the other day, listen,
it probably didn't translate because you didn't have enough money to get anything that shines. I've probably seen some. It was so small.
But I was broke then, bro. I told these cats I had the GS because Jay got it, but really I was like that was a lot to me. Like,
and we talking about pre-GS, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
So like the funny thing was when I'm talking about Big L, I tell my followers, because this is a business podcast, but there's music involved. I tell people, look, man, you can make 1,000 jump shots in a row. It does not mean you're going to make it into the NBA. Doesn't mean you're going to do certain things. It has to translate a certain way. Big L was a lyricist who was he was so Harlem. This dude was talking so much crazy shit, and it translated. It's just that his demise, was
we was actually about to sign him. For
for real?
Ebonics, what was the song he had?
Ebonics.
We were just about to sign him. We had just met on the block, maybe I want to say a week or 2 before he got killed. It's even crazier because his brother got killed. Just now, his nephew just got killed. Just maybe I want to say a couple.
It's like some Bruce Lee shit.
Yeah, like 2 months ago.
You know what I mean? Like
and I think it was on the block too. Yes. So all it's like, yeah.
Anyway, so. People don't, obviously, now I'm telling people more and more, and they see me troll on your page and shit and everything else, right? What was it like being the founder of the most powerful label in hip hop? Do you think it was too much too soon?
No, I mean, at that time, we didn't know. I mean, when you're living in it, it's kind of hard to figure out that this is the most powerful, whatever. You just doing whatever it is day to day. As I look back now, I get to enjoy it, right? And get to see how the torch is still being carried and the impact that we had on culture. Right. But you don't think about that when you're in it. It's when you remove yourself out of it and you're able to kind of look at the scope and say, wow, look at everything that's being created. Look at all the job creations. Look what happened to all the women, right? The empowerment that they're becoming executives. Look at all the interns who's having their own business and become entrepreneurs. Look at all
Shout out to Lenny, man. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look at the artists that became brands, So Lenny, Latrice, Shari, she's the president of Rock Nation right now. That used to be my assistant.
I remember Shari.
Yeah, Latrice, Street Team, head of digital. Now she got her own imprint at Universal. Right. Eve Pierre.
I remember Latrice too.
ICA, so we got all these people, all Emmanuel, right? Had a video. She's at Capitol now.
I don't remember. Do I remember Emmanuel or no?
Yeah. Shaka, right?
Shaka. What Shaka's big, right? Shaka.
Yeah. Come on, man. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm naming all these people.
What's really crazy is I remember I was trying to get tickets for Jay and Beyonce, and I got Shaka's email, and I was like, wait a second, this can't be the same fucking Shaka. Yeah. It was right when we reconnected after
when you said that later on today. She's flying in today.
That's crazy. So again, Roc-A-Fella Records, most iconic record label in music history. You said you was talking about day to day. What was your day to day like?
In the beginning, it was a learning curve for me, right? So Dame knew more about the business than any of us. So I think more of a lifestyle because I had a lot of ideas. So I would build on whatever it is that they had going on. Let's do this. Let's do it this way. Let's make it more tasteful. Let's do this. So and then obviously bringing a lifestyle to it is the things that Jay talked about early on, which popularized and let people look at us to say these dudes it was more than music because we introduced quality product, whether it was cars, liquor, jewelry, or clothes.
during the rise, like when it was rising, I'm talking about like for real rising, right? Did you think your mentality changed during the rise, or you stayed the same?
It definitely changed somewhat because I came more of a recluse. I started to I didn't like the fame, so I did.
Yeah, that was more you.
So the bigger we got, the more of the background that I stood in. I just wasn't used to that, especially coming from an environment where, you're doing different things. You never wanted that spotlight. So it was just something that stuck to me. I had to get used to that.
So when I talk about the history of this breakdown of my K-Town Hustler series, and I really talk a lot about, I talk a lot about priority, but the reasonable doubt thing was very big because, I told people I didn't think I didn't think Jay was going to be that big.
Yeah.
I've said that to you,
And I'm saying it.
Yeah.
We both saying the same thing, right?
And
I didn't think he would be that big.
So
I didn't even like him.
Yeah. But when I said that, like, it's hard to say it when someone doesn't know that you have a relationship with Jay or with you or with Dame. And in fact, me and Jay have the worst relationship compared to all three because like you and my boy were real for real. And then me and Damon became real close. And I just never fucked with Jay. Not against anything, but just was like, I don't know, like it was weird, right? But I mean, I could have had a relationship with him, but I just didn't, and that's on me. But like I addressed it on my podcast, right? How impactful that was and everything. But like that time period, just priority. Like talk about to me, like what are some key points during that priority time?
I mean, it was an exciting time for us. That was our first deal, right? So we're putting out our first project, setting up videos, doing things. So it's like, wow, we are a company right now. We're making collective decisions where we have a staff, we have an office, we have a West Coast representative, you know what I mean? So we will come out here. I mean, it was exciting times, man, because we was just taking off. And then, that's, when you and I met, right? And then we had a friendship early on, you know what I mean? So we took to each other and then it was like exchange numbers. We would talk all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it was crazy because I would laugh at some of the shit that you would say. When I found out that you were like my age or a little bit tiny, like barely younger than me, it fucked me up even more because I was the youngest cat in the office. So, like I looked at you already as like the big homie. I didn't know until 10 years later that you was younger. And I was like, what the fuck? But like you just said that you met me, like, what did you think of me when you first met me?
Funny as hell. This guy, you had an opinion about everything.
Oh man, dog.
And I think that's why we hit it off, like, right away. And it's funny because I was just telling somebody the other day, I don't have many friends, period.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying out of this whole 20, like, so for example, me and Puff just spoke for the first time last year. I've never spoken to Puff ever. So last year is the first time we ever spoke. And
all that crystal y'all motherfuckers popped.
Never spoke. We might have said what's up, whatever. We never had a conversation.
No, I mean y'all didn't really like shoot the shit ever.
No, we never had a conversation.
God damn.
So I was just telling somebody, it was like you, Noriega, GLC, but it was very few people that I kept in contact with that was actually a part of music.
Yeah. When I reached out to you, I forgot. I don't know if it was Emery, if it was Lenny. I forgot how I got your man. I think it might have been Lenny. It might have been Shock, actually. I forgot, but I was at Roc Nation offices, and you were about to do something for the November. Is it 5th of November? I forgot.
4th November. 4th of November.
My bad, bro.
Yeah.
And I remember I said, listen, man, it's Ben Yang Baller. I had to put the Yang in there, right? And I was like, yo, you hit me back right immediately. I was like, oh shit, okay. There's no way you're gonna forget me. Like, I'm just saying that because like there was no Asians back then. Yeah. It's funny. So for those who don't know the real story, I knew about it, but I left Priority right before y'all left. And I went to Aftermath to go run with Dre. And there was some reasons why I had to do what I had to do. But, I repped y'all as much as I could on the A&R level and everything, and I did it. For those who don't know the real story, why did y'all leave Priority Records?
When we left Priority, I know it was the deal that we had with Will Sokoloff that led us to Priority was a bad deal.
Yeah.
So we had signed something that we were supposed to get 80%, but it was like 80% of his 20%. So when we went gold and we supposed to make $3-4 million, we probably made $30,000-$40,000.
Oh man.
You know what I mean? So we end up getting out of that, and it was between Sony and Universal who we would sign with, and I think we went with with Universal, but on a handshake with Russell and Leor.
There was a rumor though, you know what I'm saying? Because like when I left, a lot of people didn't know I left, and it was a weird thing because I just signed a big contract with Priority to become vice president A&R, and I was like, let me get the fuck out of here. When y'all shook though, there was a rumor that Dame and y'all asked for like a Benz and like a $25,000 a month crib, which back then, that's like a fucking $1 million crib a month now. But is there some truth to that? Where he just?
I mean, it could be, but I don't remember. Yeah.
Fuck, man. I was thinking about Andrew Shack. I was gonna hit him up about it. I forgot. Remember we?
Yeah,
it's such a
Andrew
long.
Shack. I love seeing him out too, man. I've been seeing him out recently.
By the way, I gotta say this. You guys, you know me. I do sidebars all day long. One of the reasons why I'm doing this podcast in my life is not just because of Michael Rappaport. He's the one who obviously put this together for me. But if it wasn't for Combat Jack, rest in peace, Combat Jack, he was the first person to ever put me on a podcast ever. I did one of the longest podcasts in the career of his career. The longest podcast recorded on Combat Jack. If you didn't know this, Combat Jack represented them on a legal side.
Yeah.
And I didn't fucking know this. And people said, oh man, Ben Baller, you full of shit. You didn't know anybody at Roc-A-Fella. How the fuck you don't know Combat? And Jack said, why would Ben know me?
Yeah.
And he goes, people were like, whoa. And I was like, I didn't. And to tell you the truth, I already did a 3-hour interview with Combat Jack. And I was like, we had, Howard and fucking Andrew Shack on our side. And he goes, that's what I dealt with.
Yeah.
Why would I deal with the A&R?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know who represented you. And you know what I mean? But that doesn't take away that me and you were close friends.
Oh, no. That's why I think now with social media and that this interview
you get to
and
clear
stuff,
it up.
and this ain't about me. I'm just saying that I was there.
Listen, Ben Baller was 100% there. And I remember him calling me every fucking day for that plaque.
No, the platinum one, not the gold one. Remember, because Cameron used to always say you wasn't there, in his hashtags, right? So, okay, so let's go to that Dipset. Now we're talking about that. This is my fucking most just favorite moment of fucking rock, right? So Dipset, Cam, Jules, Jim Jones.
Yeah.
What was your relationship like with them? When did you meet the crew?
I mean, well, I definitely knew Cam, right? From a block away from each other. We both from Harlem. Juelz, I also knew because he was a part of another group that my man John Gatto was bringing to try to get them signed early on. So it was Juelz and somebody else I couldn't remember. Jim Jones I also knew from Harlem. So Dame actually brought that in. That's I guess Cam was leaving or something like that, or he had his album. He was able to get away. He came to Baseline, played the album for me and Dame. We went crazy. I was like, damn, this shit is amazing. And then, we ended up signing them, and that's when we did the deal. And then, obviously Dipset, came right out of that. And then Jim Jones was somebody that I always encouraged because I seen the talent in him early on. So he would always bring me songs and play them for me.
And what's crazy is Cam was one of my favorite rappers ever. Purple Haze is probably one of my most favorite albums. And it could be in top 10 of my favorite albums in hip hop. And I'm talking about people be like, yo, the Pink, this man, shut the fuck up. This is one of my favorite. And the funny thing is, I know Cam, but like, we ain't like close to nothing. Mm-hmm. But Juelz got much respect for me. Me and Jim were good friends. Yeah. And it's weird again because he's kind of like the leader of the three, whereas like with Jay again, it's a weird thing. But I remember being in a barbershop in New York, and I'm with Stevie. And I don't know why it came up, but Bout It started playing in the background, and I thought it was Master P. And I was like, oh shit. And I was like, hold on, I was like, who the fuck is this? And they were like, yo, bro, you don't know Dipset? And I was like, no, what the fuck is Dipset? It was a really New York thing. It was not, it did not hit LA yet.
Oh, I got you, yeah.
And then I was like, hold on, what'd you just say? Did you say Dipset? And then it was like, Baller, like Stevie's like, and this motherfucker speaking Spanish in the background and shit, right? And Stevie getting his lineup. And I was like, what are you talking about? If you guys don't know, Stevie Acevedo is a very old friend of mine since also 97, totally separate. I knew him totally separate from Biggs. Yeah. Somehow, some way, we all connected in like a circle. And all we do is talk shit about each other and clown and roast each other and everything. But it's all love. Yeah. And because my relationship with Stevie was strong and my relationship with Biggs and Dame was strong, it became even stronger between all of us. So going on, I heard Dipset and I was like, Dipset? I was like, what the fuck is this shit? But next thing I know, it just infected my blood cells and my brain waves, and like I couldn't stop talking about it. It took a little bit of time to get to the West. But when it did, you hear I really mean it, right? And he's like, Hoffa. And I'm like, wait a second, bro. you didn't tell me that this was a Roc-A-Fella imprint thing. And Stevie's like, what the fuck? I'm trying to tell you now, bro. That's their group. And so, you know, it was a trip. And even seeing like I know people be like, oh man, this is so ghetto. There's things that are ghetto, and I don't mean ghetto. It's like when you see like a low budget movie and these exploitation films or videos, people don't understand. When I saw the video for Get 'Em Girl and fucking Kill a Cam, and he comes out of the fucking like the basement with the fucking with the Dipset jacket, like the Jeff Hamilton jacket, and the roses on the floor, like Coming to America. And the beginning of the video, you see Damon there's freezing, snowing. Yeah. You in that beginning, there's a cameo, right? In that?
Probably. I know I did, a few of the videos, yeah.
And I just was like, yo, this motherfucker, Biggs, who are you? You don't do videos. Like, you know, it's crazy. So
it's actually funny too that you discovered it in the barbershop. People don't know the power of barbershops.
Oh man, that's a whole nother podcast, man. That's really a whole nother podcast. Yeah. So we heard the story about how Kanye West signed with The Roc, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, obviously know that and everything, right? And I remember when Ye was just getting on, he was coming to Las Palmas, like me and DJ AM would DJ, and he'd come through, and he was just like, he was like early, like, what's the song with Scarface he did?
I forgot you was DJing too.
Yeah, I was a big DJ, bro.
No. I forgot. As you just said that, like, when you said that, the picture just came right in my mind.
In fact, that was on before AM was, you know what I mean? And I had a thing. So how surprising was his success to you? Like, just where he's this?
I wouldn't say as much a surprise because I was the one that kind of seen the talent in him early on. I was the one raising flags saying, no, don't make this a compilation album. Dame wanted to make it a compilation album, just put everybody on it. Because I don't know if I wouldn't say that they didn't believe in the talent, whatever. Maybe they just didn't understand. I knew that was something I was going to break and create something new. So when Kanye, the way he was dressed, how articulate he was, how he would jump on a table, how charismatic he was, how he can talk and convince anybody. And then behind that, he had great music and great ideas. To me, it was the full package. So, I'm the one that kind of championed that project. I would say his first 2 albums. Because I really wrote, and it's so funny because right now, I know we may skip forward, but, just to put it in perspective, this is the first project I've done since Kanye's first 2 albums.
You talking about St. John?
Yeah, St. John.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So let's go back because you're going hella forward now. What was your relationship like with Kanye throughout the years and then up to today?
Throughout the years, we always had a good relationship. I would talk to him about the album, so putting All Falls Down before Jesus Walks, I had to convince him about that. Knowing what songs to go after radio. I had to hire an independent radio team, independent publicity team, all this, just to get some traction for his album. I mean, Dame has said it tons of times, without Biggs, that, he was the one that really made me wake up to say Kanye, Kanye, Kanye. And that's what put the whole label behind it. Lior didn't even believe. Lior was like, you can drop Kanye. He's kind of corny. You can take him wherever you want. Yeah, him and the Young Guns, when we had Can't Stop, Won't Stop. And then Kanye had Through the Wire. They didn't believe in either one. I'm
going to be real with you, man. I'm just going to say this on the record, first of all, man. I don't know, because listen, for those of you who don't know, man, Dame came up with the word culture vulture. I'm not going to ever take that from him. He was the one that made it platinum. He made it gold. He was the first cat. I heard it, and people say that word, and it makes me cringe when y'all don't even know who the fuck really started that word. But when we was going about the word, and I'm not trying to, this has nothing to do with color or anything. I just never fuck with Lior. That's my personal opinion. And what was Lior's cousin's name? Do you remember? He was a head of promotion also. Do you remember? At Def Jam. But he ran West Coast on Sunset.
I think it's his brother.
Oh, it's his brother. What's his name?
I forgot. I know you're talking about.
Fuck. Crazy part is, on a positive note, because I was a DJ, he put the Dipset records in my hands. Okay. Now, the thing was, when obviously y'all left the Def Jam, I was a big DJ even in 96, 97, doing all the clubs. When I was at Aftermath and I was DJing, I had to get serviced differently. Not because I fell out with you or anything. It was, and I didn't fall out. I was just saying, the way that the records were coming here, I wasn't going to, when y'all started hitting like Hard Knock Life and shit, it's hard to hit you guys up for something that small. And you guys had a street team when I was already direct with the Def Jam people and I was already connected. So Lior's brother put them records in my hands. So I could say that's, a positive thing. But what are your most favorite, like your all-time favorite moments at the height of Roc-A-Fella Records?
I think the music. So as I look back at it, that's why I tell people now on all these young artists, and even veterans that's coming up and still recording, you guys should be video recording everything that's happening in the studio.
Yeah, man.
You cannot, because those times you never can get those back. So when I look at it as those, we call it free play. When Jay will go in the booth and say he's about to do a song, but then he'll be like just free play and just start going crazy. And then you'll hear stuff that you've never heard before and you may never hear it again. And he'll just be in the booth rapping for like 10, 15 minutes.
Man.
You know what I mean? That even today, I miss that. You know what I mean?
No, I regret back in the day when I was with Dog Pound, all those cats and Corrupt and everything. And I remember one time Corrupt, Eminem, like I can't even tell you how many legendary people were rapping. And I'm like, man, I wish somebody had this.
Yeah.
It's fucking an hour and 10 minutes of just nonstop
to me, that's
off the dome.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that, man, because that's where the magic happens, right? That's what the thing that sparked, that created all these careers, that gave everybody longevity, that gave them, some type of, push to do anything. The music is always, at the core. So all those times in the studio, man, I mean, you got to think we had baseline. It's just like I'm sure Death Row and everybody else that in Murder Inc. and everybody else in Bad Boy who had a great team. But, when you got Kanye, Just Blaze, Bank.
Bank, I haven't heard that name in a minute. Wow.
Yeah, right. And then you got Cam, Beans, State Property, Dipset, Jay. And then you got,
even Chris and Neef had hits.
Yeah,
they
that's what I said. No,
hits.
big. That's what I said. So Can't Stop, Won't Stop was one of our biggest songs ever on Roc-A-Fella.
What was the song? I think I might wife her. Powder blue, Rock-A-Bear suit, white Nike.
No Better Days.
Oh my God, I fucking love that song.
Yeah, so that was me too. So that was another project I did. So after 2002, I took over Roc-A-Fella. So 2002 to 2005, mostly all the music that came out.
All right, let me tell you something, man. There was a point where on a Lil Wayne mixtape, Young Money mixtape, Nicki Minaj rapped over the Can't Stop, Won't Stop beat. And I was like, oh shit, like this. And again, Stevie was in LA. He was with Devin Aoki at the time.
Yeah.
And we were in a SUV, and we were driving, and it's different, obviously. So I'm sorry, guys. The internet now today, you can hear anything. You could be from Tokyo, you could be a famous rapper from Colombia, you could be a famous rapper from Florida, anywhere. It wasn't like that back then. It was very regional, unless you became literally top 10 charts. Ice Cube was not played on Hot 97 like that. It was just different. Especially a younger group that's bubbling in the city. You will never fucking hear that shit on the radio in LA. Yeah. So Chris and Neve's song comes on, and Stevie said, oh shit. He's like, my knees, my fucking Chris and Neve. I was like, why are you laughing? He goes, Baller, if you just knew, you're not around like as much anymore. Like for them to be playing over here, this is crazy. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, like, these is like the little young cats in the studio, like not on yet, now they on. And I was like that. He's like, man, bro, this is so big for them, like I'm happy for him. He had like a genuine crazy smile on his face.
Shout out to Kenny Burns. Me and him actually worked on that, doing the vocal arrangements and everything for that specific song right there.
Yo, man, Kenny Burns is also another 20-something year friend of mine.
Yeah.
We have gone over the world together. We've gone to fucking Tokyo and everything, and I love this dude. I just made Kenny his rock chain. Someone should have smacked Biggs or fucking Dame or even Jay. I didn't know that I had a chain. I never knew that Kenny Burns, and Biggs had to check me at the 20th anniversary. He's like, no, Kenny's before you.
Pre-Roc-A-Fella.
Kenny's before you. And I was like, what? He was like, Kenny's the Honda Accord. I was like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
So Kenny Burns got his first chain a year ago. I made it, and it meant a lot to me because back then all the chains are made by either Jacob or Tito, right? Or was it?
Tito, I don't think Tito made any chains. It was probably Jacob.
Okay. And then Chris here made a couple, but Jacob
Chris
made them.
Yes. Chris here made the first rose gold with black diamonds.
Yeah. And to me, I wore all these chains because I was always be with them. My Dame would give me a chain to wear. And the thing was this, man, until I got my own chain, like it was a big deal that I was able to make something for Kenny, who's an OG. It was a big deal because Jacob was my idol, and I basically based my career off of what Jacob did. So that's crazy, man, that Kenny was part of that. I didn't know he was part of that fucking Chris and Neef shit, man.
Yeah. So Kenny was vice president in Roc-A-Fella at that time.
Yeah. So, God, remember when I was with, where was I at? We were somewhere talking about this with Jay, and Jay goes, I got 21 rock chains out in the world somewhere. And I was like, you have 21 out in the world. He goes, I have 21 out in the world somewhere, and I can't exactly tell you who here and there. And I was like, there's 21 out there. I thought that, I'm sure Jay must have thought one of them chains out there had to be Kenny's too, right? Don't you think that was an oversee or?
Nah, because it didn't really go to execs. It was really for artists.
Right.
So at that time,
No, you're right, because Sam Ronson had one.
yeah. But I'm saying, she did.
Yeah, she's an artist.
She was an artist.
Right.
So there wasn't really other people other than artists just getting them. You know what I mean? We had made small ones that we had gave to our crews.
Yeah.
But no,
I had a small one.
Yeah.
So hold on. So now, listen, this wasn't even in my fucking discussion because I don't talk about jewelry on this show.
Yeah.
That's never been something. This is behind the bollards, much deeper than the jewelry and the shit that you see. Let's talk about that for 1 second. Did you ever think that chain was gonna be that motherfucking iconic?
No. I mean, we had all these ideas. We're gonna do this and that and this, but it's still until you get there. Just like you, I'm sure you're like, man, one day I'm gonna get a house for $1 million or $2 or $3 or $4. It's different when you have it.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like first you're dreaming, then you're living the dream.
Yeah.
Right. And then you remove yourself out of it. Then it's like you look back and like, man, look what I did in this short period, a long period of what, or where I came from to where I'm going to what I have.
What's the Puerto Rican dude's name? Life Young. What the fuck's his name? He signed to Roc-A-Fella.
True Life. Yeah.
True
that's
Life.
What, yeah. That was after I was gone. Yeah.
Okay, so let's forget about that. But he was the first one to do a colorful rock chain. That's why I was just wondering.
Okay, I never seen it.
And then something happened with Damon, Avions, and the guys. But anyways, going on. So the chain was a big deal.
Yeah.
When people listen, if you understood how enormous, and I discussed this before, having that death row chain, 1994 to 96, it was you were affiliated with like a mafia, like just such a crazy crew. Same thing went with the Roc-A-Fella chain. On that time period of 96 to 2002, the only thing I had to show affiliation, which is people don't know now, is I had the Letterman jacket. The Streets is Watching. And that was like, not many people could say they had that, right?
Come on, fam.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So what is your all-time favorite Roc-A-Fella album? Because I mean, there's Dipset, there's this. Like, what was your favorite album of all time?
Shit.
Don't tell me you don't know. Fuck you, Wiggs.
I definitely don't know.
Come on now. The most favorite album.
Now that I look back at it, what would I listen to probably more than anything? It'll probably be American Gangster.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn, I just didn't even really fuck with that record a lot. That was when he changed on his grown man like rap. He was...
Yeah, but it was like a new version of Reasonable Doubt for me.
Okay, I feel you.
Because he was able to go back and tell those stories because it was associated with the movie.
Right.
And then the stories were still authentic.
You ever meet Frank Lucas?
No.
Oh, okay.
And it aged really, really well.
You know what? I'm gonna have to go replay it because I remember when it came out, and I know I didn't play that. I gotta replay it. There was some shit on there that fucked me up.
No. Lyrically, he destroyed it. I mean, you know what I mean? And then for Puff to to EP that was crazy too. Right now,
this is where I had doubts. And it's good to have doubts, right? Because you never said I told you so. Your energy said I told you so. Because there was things that, you guys did, and you guys had went so far above of where I was that I could only dream. Like, well, I'm being serious, and I felt like, hey, listen, I know them, and that just makes me happy that I know somebody who's on jets and making this kind of money that'd buy 300, 400 white tees at a time and wear them once and throw them away. And like, that was crazy because I would go grab the tees after, buy 100 pairs of white on whites, like, I mean, no one ever did that, And then it took me to make 8 figures myself and buy, I mean, bro, I have every fucking car you could think of that's come out, in the last 10 years. And when I think about it, I'm like, yo, it makes me think of you guys because that was the inspiration.
Yeah.
That and my boy, I talked about it, Tony De Niro, my boy T Smooth. I had a doubt about this company, and eventually I started wearing it because, well, you guys made me. But where did the idea from Roc-A-Wear start?
From the beginning. So
what do you mean, 96?
So, when we got in the music business, we said we would do a clothing line. So in 1996, when we had our first office, we had a seamstress in there and we had sewing machines and everything. So we was actually making clothes in there, just that, it'll be one shirt, one sleeve longer than the other. We didn't know what the hell we was doing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, so it started from there. We had seamstress and was trying to get samples and going down to the fashion district.
But did you think it was going to be a fucking $250 million company? Like,
well, it was actually a $750 million company.
Oh, 750 mil. My
Yeah.
bad. Shit. Holy Lord.
Yeah.
I just remember I was at the Beverly Hilton. I don't know why the fuck you guys were over there. I know Jay was always at the Peninsula. Not Peninsula, I'm sorry, the Bel Air Hotel. You was too, my bad.
Yeah.
No, Jay was at the Peninsula, right?
First, it was the Peninsula. Then we went to Beverly Hills. Then we stayed at the Bel Air.
Bel Air was, y'all had the crazy cabanas. I remember it was like one of them was like the Russell Crowe suite.
Yeah.
This is when me and Dame were, I don't think there was a time when Dame came to LA and I wasn't with him. Anyways, it was just crazy. And I remember I only wanted the tracksuits, like the velour suits,
Yeah. Yeah.
And they gave me the jeans, and I'm like, God damn, motherfuckers is baggy as fuck.
Yeah.
But that was the style, it's crazy.
It's funny as he's saying all these things, I'm picturing Ben with these outfits, like I'm seeing his face, everything.
By the way, motherfucker, we'll get into that later.
I know.
We'll get into that later.
I see what he's getting, where he's going.
Because I remember with the Hotel Bel Air, you motherfucker son of a bitch. Let me ask you a question, man. What's more difficult, you think? Surviving in the music industry or the fashion industry?
Fashion.
Yeah, fashion's fast, man.
It's real difficult. And I think what a lot of people don't understand is just because you have notoriety doesn't mean that you're a brand. There's only certain few people, right, that's ever become brands out of music, right? And there's still, there's Jay, there's Kanye, there's Rihanna, there's Pharrell.
Puffy had Sean John, right?
Yeah, and now I would say Rocky. You know what I mean? I just told Rocky the other
Rocky's
day
enormous.
that it's official, the baton is passed, that he is the flyest motherfucker out of Harlem.
And what to say? Where is he from? He's from
Harlem.
You know me and Rocky own company together. I got the Og tattoo on my neck.
I remember you told me. So we were just talking about it a few days ago. I was like, fam, hands down, everything that you're doing is tasteful. From the pictures, like everything.
Yeah,
I have not seen an outfit that didn't make sense. Everything is just like, damn, he killed that.
But bro, me fucking with Rocky since the beginning, because my boy was his manager, and like they got signed and everything, and yo man, rest in peace to Yams. You see how deeply involved I made the Lamborghini chain. Fucking Ferg is fucking Harlem as a motherfucker.
Yeah.
His uncle was a goddamn real Harlem legend.
That's my guy. Like we know each other really well.
Yeah.
And his father, me and him was really cool.
Right.
Yeah. So
when,
just found out the other day.
When we talked about it, and I found out who his uncle was, I started asking.
T-Ferg, shout out.
Besides you, I asked a couple other Harlem people that I know that have nothing to do with music, but they real G's. They was like, hey, quiet as kept. There's a reason why Ferg is not going to get fucked with in Harlem. Like, you don't want to fuck with him because his uncle is so respected. I made that Lamborghini chain, and things changed for my life. He put me in a song, and then that changed that took me to another level.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So Harlem, if you look at A$AP Rocky and you look at any rapper, not even Kanye, not even Pac, because Pac was the first one to start fucking with Jean-Paul Gaultier and all these things, and Versace, when you see a dude from Harlem that was rapping, he had such a articulate, eclectic style. He was alternative in a way. It was different. You go to Paris Fashion Week and you see a 70, 100-foot fucking banner drop down, and he's the face of Dior. And I'm like, dog, this is Dior, bro.
Yeah.
Then the Gucci, not a Prada. It's just, I'm so happy, man. Rocky's so fly, dog. It's crazy.
Super fly. And he's doing everything right, man.
So, this is another thing too that I wanted your opinion on, and these are questions I want to know. I don't give a fuck about what y'all want to know. I think that they're important to ask. So, how did you feel about like the transition from like Roc-A-Fella Records to like Roc Nation, like that whole?
Early on, I mean, obviously, you look at these things when you're not involved, and not to say I wish bad or for them not to have success, but it's always like a little bit of a sour feeling, right? It's like, man, this doesn't have anything to do with me. Move forward today. I'm the happiest person in the world seeing exactly what they're doing. It couldn't make me more happy. Nori said this. He was like, Biggs, it's not, he said, when you're at the shows, like me and Nori went to see Jay, him and Beyonce on this last tour, and we were there. And I go to the shows, I'm in the middle, I'm in the Duce Lounge, I'm jumping up, I'm dancing, like I'm clapping like every fan that's in there. and I couldn't be more happier. I love that. It brings tears to my eyes to see exactly how far the Roc name has gone and is still being carried. So it's one of the best things that I can look at in life to see what happened. Just to, whether I'm a part of it or not, to know that, I was at the genesis of it, definitely holds something dear to my heart when I see 80,000 people. It's like, man, we started this together. You know what I'm saying?
That's real positivity, man. That's
but
great.
right, I'm talking about, I'm jumping louder, dancing. People looking at me like, yo, first of all, I don't even see this guy dance and stuff. Yeah. But I'm there, like I don't care. Like I let it out. I got my diamond up half the show. You know what I'm saying?
You have changed a lot, and obviously I have changed a lot. I'm still a dick. I think you really turned into a fucking philosopher and all kinds of shit, and I want to get into that now. I mean, I don't think it's public information. If you don't want to talk about it, we ain't got to. We could edit it out. That's why I said that. I mean, bro, you got locked up.
Yep.
For marijuana trafficking, right? And
for conspiracy. And
conspiracy.
And we can talk about that too. So,
because I'm that close to you, I remember what you were before, and then when you came out, some people are like, oh, I know mentally it could fuck with you. But me personally seeing you, like just being in Vegas and being at a hotel or being in Beverly Hills or something, I'm like, damn, like he's different, not like off different, like, whatever. And it's, how did the time spent locked up change you?
For me, it was one of the best things that happened to me. I was able to reflect, look back on my life, take a pause, and just look at things from a different lens, and just to go into it, because a lot of people don't ask these questions, so I can go into details a little bit and give y'all the short version of what happened. Around 2010, 2009, actually, I came out here to try to buy some dispensaries. I seen where, where the marijuana policy and things were going. At that time, they only had 100 dispensaries. So
it was less than that, dog.
Yeah, so you only had to buy, I think it was 100 or less. Or they was only allowing 100, whatever it was. You could only buy it from somebody who had a license. So one person had two, so I was about to go, me and my friend was going to acquire both of them. And I was asking them where they get their weed from. So they gave, they told us who the farmers was. We went up north, the Ross Valley, Mendo, and
I know all about it. I'm in the biz, yeah.
Right? So we met, these guys that was supplying these two specific dispensaries, and I was like, man, it's not going to be enough. I was like, look, I'm gonna buy everything 100%, but I'm gonna buy some more land, and let's be partners on that. And they was like, yeah, definitely, let's do it. So come back to New York, I got old friends that I used to buy weed from before I used to smoke. I didn't start smoking till 24, 20.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm telling him, I'm smoking some OG. I'm uptown. He's like, man, you always got this good weed, this and that. So I'm like, yeah, I'm about to do this and that. He's like, well, Biggs, that's going to take a year. I was like, yeah. He said, why don't you introduce me to those dudes in the meantime? I'm like, yeah, that ain't no problem. So as I'm going back, I'm connecting him with them on the phone. The feds is watching this guy in New York for the last 3 years. So they pulled me in a conspiracy. So that's a conspiracy to connect two people. And then he was going to buy weed and cross state lines.
Yeah.
Did I really know? I mean, at the back of my mind, yeah, but I didn't really think about it like that. So.
And you wasn't sure. The crazy thing is that they're expunging all marijuana.
So,
crimes,
so look, they lock up 70 people.
70?
Yeah. So they wanted this guy for a long time.
Yeah, they followed him for a minute.
The last 3 months of it, they pulled me in. I'm on the front page of the Post, Daily News, CNN, MTV, everything. And then
that hurt my heart, man. When I saw
then they bring Jay-Z name into it. So basically, I took a lie detector test with an ex-Fed who did all the lie detector tests at Guantanamo Bay. So I passed, but the DA said that they wouldn't use it.
It's not admissible, yeah.
Yeah, it's only up to them. So basically, they said, look, either tell on this guy in New York or tell on these guys in California, and I chose not to, so I ended up getting 5 years.
You a motherfucking stand-up dude for that. I mean, real quickly, I talked about this off the record. We talked about it, right? But what did you reflect on, while you was in there, man?
Just, the shit I did, mistreating people, misuse of money, using money and power to take advantage of whatever, women, girls, or this and that. You get into this place because we didn't really have nothing where we was from, and then you jump into this different, fortunately we had money before we got in, but it was just different with the fame and everything else. And you take advantage of a lot of stuff, right? I wasn't really empathetic. I didn't put myself in other people's places. I didn't think about what they thought of and how we treated people. You know, I would have probably had different conversations with Dame back then, or Jay, or whatever it is. Damn. But, you know, I was just doing what I thought was right, and a lot of decisions that I made were wrong, you know what I'm saying, especially mistreating people. So even when I came out, there was a lot of people, you know, I apologized to. I was like, look, man, I changed, or they told me stories.
But you really did, though.
Yeah.
Because I know you used to knock motherfuckers out, and I used to laugh because I liked you. No, listen, people, everyone who follows me, everyone who listens to this, you know I'm a sinister person, and I'm a fucking piece of shit. I used to like Biggs when because he didn't fuck with me like that, but I'm saying, like, you know, we talk about, well, actually we won't, but this motherfucker would knock rappers out and just did crazy shit, and I liked that Biggs, but when he came out, I have to say this, and I have to say this as genuine as possible. Biggs, man, you are a fucking amazing person. I mean, you were my boy, but who you've turned into now, I'm kind of like, part of it's hard to accept because it's weird that you're such a positive, great person.
Yeah, man, it was a humbling experience.
And how much weight did you lose in jail?
I actually went in the same that I came out, but the thing is, I got, you know, it was a lot of definition. So, right. But prior to that, I went in 190. But you know, the days that Ben is talking about, I used to be 270.
Yeah. When did you lose that weight then? I'm trying to think.
I probably lost it like the first 3-4 years of Roc-A-Fella. I just actually went on like an Atkins diet and I was like, what's the laziest way to lose weight? So they was like, just no carbs. I saw
you in 2000. No, you know what? You just had a bubble goose on.
No, so, but what happened is, so I went from like maybe 270 something like 230. So it was still heavy. Like when you see me prior to jail, I was still heavy.
Yeah.
But when I came out, obviously it was all different.
You got motherfucking chiseled and all. I was like, who the fuck is this dude? We at the Huntley Hotel, and this motherfucker got muscles and shit on him. Like,
yeah, the Huntley.
That was crazy. I was like, the fuck?
Shout out to that Chinese chopped salad.
Oh, you love that shit. You love that shit. So let me ask you real quick, just what you think. What's your thoughts on Jay-Z and this NFL deal?
I think it's fucking amazing.
I think so too, man. I don't know why people are tripping, man.
Yeah, well, I think they changed now, right? So, you know, a little blurb came out and everybody had everything to say. Yeah. And when the full tape came out, everybody's quiet.
How they edit that part? Come on,
but look,
man.
But now nobody came back and said, just how everything went viral about it, nothing went viral about apology. Nothing went viral about, oh yeah, so as soon as it happened, bringing Rhapsody and Meek Mill, and then they're already putting 400,000 into this and doing something. In order to create change, we got to be in a place of power.
Yeah.
So now Jay's in a place of power in the inside. Now he can see what's going on from the inside out and to create some different change, right? And create a dialogue.
100%.
Right.
And you got to get inside and get it.
And start to create. It's either that or what else do we do? You know, and like you said, it doesn't mean to stop protesting, but we also got to look at things from a different angle. And who else? I mean, truthfully, besides Barack, I only trust Jay.
Right.
And I'm not saying that because I know him. It's really like he's our Barack right now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That he's not in office. Jay is kind of taking the helms, and it's like when something happens, they like call Jay. If somebody...
Fuck, man, you just said a really heavy thing.
Right?
That metaphor is real. Like, it seems so far away because I know Jay-Z walking through the Beverly Center with the fucking JT the Bigger Figure shirt on, some Jordans and some jean shorts. And like now, listen, by the way, Jay's conversations now are different. He's gone so much more brilliant and more articulate in how he talks to me.
Yeah.
And like, that's just, man, what you said is, no, he is then, I guess, right?
No, yeah. But and so,
no dick sucking, no pause, nothing
so,
like.
You know, a lot of people like support black and do this, and I'm not saying not to, right? Or people of color, but it's different when you know for a fact that this person is actually taking money and going back into these neighborhoods and really helping people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You hear that, but you're actually seeing it. So you want him to win. Because you know what's going to happen.
Right.
Whether it's bail, closing down Rikers Island, you know, because of the, you know, what he did with Trey Martin, you know.
Right.
I mean, like everything that he's doing is about pushing the culture forward in a positive matter now. Even the music has changed, right? And the dialogue, and it's making people talk and think different. He's not a boss no more. Now he's a leader.
Jesus Christ. So Dame Dash recently went on the record on my boy Adam's No Jumper podcast.
Yeah.
and he said, everybody knows Jay-Z ain't shit. I didn't even listen to the rest. I don't care what else he had to say. It's just weird, man. Like, damn, one of my close friends. Like, what was your reaction to that when you heard that?
It was a little weird because he also went and said that he didn't fuck with me, but I love Dame, so it's I fuck with him. You know what I mean? So Dame, if you listen to this, man, I love you, man, and I wish you the best. You know, every time I talk to you, you know, I tell you, you know, that I'm happy for everything that you're doing, and I call you every time I hear about something. So I just wish him the best, man. I'm not sure what place is he in right now mentally. Not to say it's something wrong with his mind, but I'm just saying, you know, I heard he having a new kid. Congratulations on that.
Oh, man, congrats, Dan.
And look, I love you, you know, for the public to, you know, listen to it, and they'll hear it on Ben Baller's podcast first. This is the first time I've ever addressed it or talk about it. And I don't do any of that in public at all. But I just want to send my love out, man, to you and the family.
You know what, Dame? I'd love to have you on the show now that I think about it. I wasn't thinking about it then because I didn't want people to come at me and be like, oh, boom. And I don't think people know that me and you have a long relationship as well. And I remember when you hit me up and telling me that your daughter was a fan and was, you know, like the jewelry I make and everything. And I don't know, Dame, I think you obviously know how much I care about you as well. I would love to holler at you about this shit, man, you know, and that's dope. I appreciate you saying that.
Yeah, man.
So this is a business podcast, like I said, right? A lot of listeners here are always asking me how to get rich, this, that, and the third. I'm like, listen, man, there's no shortcut.
Not at all.
Right?
Not at all.
But a lot of, you know, listeners, they have ideas, but they don't know how to legitimize them, right? So like, what advice could you give to some of these young cats, man? How to take advantage, you know, just execute.
Well, I mean, to borrow a line from Jay again, I mean, people look at us and they try to emulate the end result instead of trying to emulate the whole entire journey.
Oh, shit.
Right?
Say that again, please.
Everybody wants to emulate the end result instead of worrying about the whole entire journey.
I might put that on a fucking t-shirt, man. That's real though, bro.
No, yeah. They just see where you're at right now. Like, how do I get there? They don't look at, oh shit, what, 20 years ago? Wait, he had
The
what
blood,
kind
sweat,
of car?
and tears, yeah.
He had what little office? He had what? He had a DJ. He had to do what? He had to go where to get his jewelry and diamonds? He had to learn it from what? He had how many losses before he won?
Yeah.
They don't look at that, right? They look at the championship instead of worrying about how many shots that Jordan shot before he became,
Yeah.
you know, Michael Jordan in the gym shooting 2,000 or 3,000 jump shots. You gotta put the work in, man.
No, 100%, man. So what is the difference between a businessman and a hustler?
A hustler is always going to make something happen. If it's a door closed, he's going to create a door. A businessman, I would say sometimes just they may give up, right? So
Right.
A hustler doesn't give up. The tenacity, the perseverance, you know, that always pushes them forward. And usually a no motivates me more. So it's like certain songs, for example, that we gave people to get on St. John's album, and when they said no, and these are friends of mine, it motivated me even more.
Oh, damn.
Didn't make me dislike him at all. I'm like, yo, love, man, we'll catch you on the next one. But it made me go even harder. So I always look at a no or a failure as motivation.
For the record, every time you ask me like, hey man, can you do this? I like the pic. I reposted on my story. I did everything. Have I not? Never once. If you asked me to do it, I've done it.
Every
and
time.
I still ain't
Every
fucking,
time.
I ain't met this guy yet. How did the movie OG come to be? Like, and did you have a deal with HBO before that? How did they pick it up?
No, actually that got brought to me from my head of strategic development, Wally. And the project was done already, and they wanted somebody to actually help amplify it, who spoke to that audience and also went through that experience.
Oh.
So it made sense for me. Obviously, Jeffrey Wright, I believe, is one of the best actors of our time.
I think he's in my top 10 of all time ever.
Yeah. That's
he's
what I'm
a
saying.
fucking insane actor, dog.
Insane. And, you know, once I seen the project, the first thing I was like, wait, what prison was this in? Because the nuances was so real. And it was the first movie ever done in prison with 80% of the cast was all inmates. And I don't think people know that. So
I saw the movie.
The best supporting actor, you know, if he got best supporting actor, would have been an inmate. So the guy, you know, which would have never happened, right? Never ever happened before. And the talent level, I mean, all these guys that's in that movie got 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years of life, you know, never coming home. So it was something special to me because it gave me a platform to talk about justice reform, to talk about what's happening in the prison system, talk about what's happening in our communities, and you know, probation. Like it was just so many things that it gave the platform to talk to, and that's what spoke to me. And you know, that's the decision I made to be a part of that. So I came on as executive producer.
That was fucking dope. And again, man, to see Jeffrey Wright tweet your name, I was like, because like, man, bro, we all know famous people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you motherfuckers brought in the height of the crazy shit. You brought fucking Michael Jackson on the Summer Jam stage and whatever. It's just still though, it's when you respect somebody who not everyone's gonna know Denzel. Everyone's gonna know maybe Will Smith. They don't all know Jeffrey Wright and not realize like I was fucking with this dude when he was Basquiat. I fucked with this dude when he was even in Shaft. He played such a good like drug lord. You know,
almost like Al Pacino when you see him in Scarface. He's like the Spanish kid. Yeah. That's how it was in Peoples. I thought Jeffrey Wright was Spanish.
Yeah, I didn't know.
And
then I met dude Wright, and I was like, oh, this dude
he does Shakespeare.
I was like, this dude's a weirdo, and I was like, that means he's just a real dude. So let's get into some light shit because jail is just nothing. As obsessed as I told you guys, anything about Vegas or jail or gangs, I'm in it. But I don't want to talk about jail no more. We're gonna talk about some personal funny shit that I had to ask him just on my personal shit. Like, I'm just curious, man. When we were shooting the Song Cry video, right? Stevie, Richie, everyone's there. Where the fuck were you during that shoot?
I was there. So actually, it's so funny because I remember getting the flu. I was really sick that day, and I lost that week. I lost maybe 15 pounds. And the reason why I know because me and Jay wore the same exact size for the first time. Because they had his wardrobe and then I had wore some. I'm actually in the video for a second. And God bless, Bob is too.
Yeah, because I was there with him.
Yeah. So I was there. And damn, was that the OG you gave me? Because I remember I couldn't smoke. Like when you're sick like that. I brought it there too. Yeah.
And the funny part was
is that from the $100 that I don't owe you?
We'll get into that in a minute. That video shoot though, because we did two different areas. We shot one part in like a weird part of downtown, not downtown LA, but it was like the industrial part, like the east downtown. And that was like the first time I met my trainer, Greg Mille. Young G, can't get right.
Yeah.
And we're shooting a basketball scene and everything else. This was the time where I said, fuck this shit, man. Listen, let's have Jay. I said this in my last podcast. Yo, I'm gonna have Jay write rhymes for me. Like, y'all should sign me. You know what I'm saying? Like telling Dame. Dame's like, what? I get in the fucking.
I do remember that.
I get in the fucking trailer.
Saying rap.
Yeah. And fucking Dame goes, yo, rap for Jay. And I was like, what the fuck you talking about? It was just put me on the spot.
I remember that.
But I'm gonna tell you something. That trip, we end up going to the lounge. It was the hottest club, Brent Bolthouse night, Thursday night. And they wouldn't let Bob in. And they wouldn't let G in. And Dame was acting fucking crazy, dog. Like, this is the time when Jermaine Dupri was dating Janet Jackson, and Dame was in there in her ear. Like, he just didn't give a fuck. He was so disrespectful. And we got everyone in, and this was the time where you don't understand how expensive a fucking throwback Mitchell & Ness jersey was. She was like $400. Like, like you think about a Givenchy shirt now, and you're like $3 to $6, $7. But this is like, dudes had multiple of these jerseys, and Bob was a big Mitchell & Ness throwback cat. So he had a pinwheel hat on and he had his jersey. I'll never forget. And I don't know if it was Dame. I don't remember who it was. But someone spilled cranberry juice on his shit and Bob was hot. It fucked his whole night up. He didn't want to talk. He had like 3-4 bad bitches too. He was talking to them. All potential going back to the Bel Air Hotel. And it fucking salted his whole night out. And Dame is just sitting there like, yo, Ben Yang, Bala, Babalob and everything. And it was a great time. I didn't know you were there because... I think because obviously you must have been sick because we were in there acting a fool and like Jay's just chilling watching Friday like in a thing and whatever. So I'm always curious, man. I see once in a while Memph jump in your comments, but like, what's up with have you heard from Beans? Have you heard from Memphis? Have you heard from Chris and Neef?
Yeah, I just spoke to Bleak not too long ago. Actually, just connecting him. Oh, shout out to Bleak because I heard his. He just asked me to connect them with somebody at BET, and I heard his show just got greenlit. So,
fuck! Congrats.
So he called me. I made the call 10 minutes later, right away. You know what I'm saying? So I mean,
he was never really around unless you on tour. He was just like on his own
Bleak.
thing.
Yeah, it's my brother. Same thing with Beans. I can't remember the last time I seen him, but no, we all still got great relationships.
Okay, so Beans and you are good.
I just seen Chris on Fashion Week. I spoke to Neef the other day, Freeway.
Fuck,
yeah,
really?
So because when I had a listening session for St. John, I invited all of them up to come up. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And then me and Chris was just we was at a couple shows just now. Me, him, and Wale at Fashion Week.
When is the last time you heard from anybody from fucking Chris John?
That's been a while. So yeah, yeah. So Allen probably like 2010.
Damn, that shit.
Yeah.
So we are wrapping this up. Listen, man, I have a question. I'm personally hurt, and and I'm being real. I'm not joking at all. I'm just being honest, right? you put out this family tree, Roc-A-Fella family tree, and you have fucking Justin Salguero. You have Just Ski on the family tree, and I wasn't on the tree. How y'all do the Asian dirty like that, man?
Well, because the tree is really about people who careers came from that. I don't think yours came from that. I think you created your own career. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So that's what it was. It was about what we did and then the things that kind of created from that. And there's a lot of people that didn't make it. So people don't understand that I had to do that in 48 hours. It was hard to put, like, even have Clark Kent and this and that because they're before us.
Right.
They would be on top of us. It was about what we did and what created after that.
No, I hear you.
You know what I'm saying?
But if there was just a family tree, I'm in that tree.
No, you're part of the family, but that was more about job creation and what we did to help spawn other things.
Because when Jay went on tour,
Ben Baller became Ben Baller because of himself. It wasn't because of Roc-A-Fella, even though he was affiliated.
And fuck you, just again one more time, by the way. Yo, man, what are we doing for RD25, man? What are we doing for fucking?
I don't know. You got to think of that one. You host the last one, so
Yeah.
Ben Baller's hosting RD25. Send all your questions through right now and ask him what is he doing, so we can know.
Fuck, man. So now we get to the part, man. Listen, bro, are you ever gonna pay him $100, bro?
Listen, man. Let me call Emery. Let me call Jay. They should be back from Germany right now. Let me see what I can do.
God damn, man. I won't even tell the story because they're gonna fucking hate you. It's just the fucking what you made me go through. So real quick, last man, what's in the future for Biggs? Like, what's your next moves? Like,
right now, you know, I'm back in music with St. John. Right now, he actually has the number 9 most Shazam song in the world.
Oh shit.
Number 1 in Russia. He had a great album, Rolling Stones. He just went from top 25 to number 4 breakthrough artist in 1 week. He first album over 150 million streams. So we just dropped the album Ghetto Lenny Love Songs the other day, and I'm really proud of that because, like I said, this is the first project I've done in 14 years, and it's critically acclaimed right now, and people are saying that this is the first time they're able to listen to an album 1 through 14. So that's something that I'm really proud of. On top of that, Nori and the Drink Champs, you know, I managed him too. So
yeah.
I just did.
You know, they asked me to be on the show like 3 or 4 times and just never fell through. So now, tell them I'm down to do
All
it,
right,
man.
yeah. So, you know, did that, and then now have you know, Nori on title. So,
wait. Stop. Did Nori what's up with the chain, bro?
oh, we still trying to figure that out too.
God damn it,
Nori,
man.
where the hell is that goddamn chain? Shout out to Nori. It was his birthday the other day. So
Hey, happy birthday, Nori.
yeah, got Nori on title, Mass Appeal and Revolt. So Jay-Z, Puff, and Nas. That was something that was real special, you know, to get done. Shout out to Randy Acker. And then my TV and film company, you know, Bolo Media, which pays homage to Bob, B.O., and my mother, Lorraine, L.O., who I lost. So, yeah, I have a whole division, and I have multimedia companies as well, too, and getting back in the spirit. So, and investment. So I'm doing a lot in fashion as well.
Sound like you're doing a lot. God damn.
Yeah. So it's like what I'm not doing.
No, I hear you. Both of us live on a plane. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Right before we get out of here, is there any other shout outs you got?
I'll shout out to my brother Stevie, Richie, Just Ski. Shout out to Dame Dash. What's up, bro? Jay-Z, Todd Emery, Jay Brown, the whole crew, man. I love you all.
Fuck yeah, man. Shout out to Tata and Jay Brown, man. That's for sure.
Yeah.
So listen, guys, man, that was a legendary thing. This is archived. This will be on there forever. I don't know when I'd stop podcasting. I want to do this until I'm old. This is probably one of the most personal, dear to my heart podcast interviews because I don't interview people who aren't pushing the culture, aren't going forward. And this is someone I've known a long time, not just because he was a founder of one of the most powerful record labels and that brought out one of the most popular, powerful, biggest rappers of all time. It was because we had a relationship before any of this popped off and we remained friends. And Biggs, again, thank you so much for doing this shit, man.
Thank you, man. It's always good to see somebody who's making $40,000 a year to probably $40 million right now. Y'all should see this crib right now. It's amazing.
Yo, Miles, man, take us out with the Lakey beat, y'all.
Boom.
So, we're back, and man, fucking interview was amazing. You know, Biggs doesn't do a lot of interviews. I'll be real with you. You know, if he does, you might see him on HBO and just, I don't know, just random things, but you don't see him like any kind of like any kind of street level shit. He just, man, fuck. Some of the things that Big said, it's just, he dropped some gems. I respect him as a man. You know, it's really important that I get these OGs on my show. You know, I want to get Kenny Burns on my show next. I want to get Jermaine Dupri on here. I want to get Dallas Austin. I want to get a lot of OGs on here speaking about, you know, it's real important to the youth. You know, it's real important to anybody under the age of 35 that you hear these stories, because you see the success, but you don't see the journey that went in between, you know what I'm saying, and the beginning. And, you know, we just talked about the beginning, you know what I'm saying, the fucking genesis of Roc-A-Fella Records. You know, this is crazy. And just the fact that finally motherfuckers know, like, I was really there, you know, and I was part of it. I'm proud of it. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. And, you know, I just really, I can't emphasize enough how important it is for this information to be traveled down to the younger generations. And shout out to Biggs, man. That's fucking amazing. I really appreciate him taking the time to come down to the $1 Million Man Cave and, you know, spread love and talk a little bit about that. It's kind of crazy, you know what I'm saying? I'm glad he talked about Dame too. Oh, you know what? I want to have Dame on the show too, obviously. Love to rap to Dame. Me and Dame go back. In fact, out of Jay-Z, Biggs, and Dame, me and Dame were the closest. So, you know, I don't know, man. As far as current events, this shit's gone crazy. Diplo hacked fucking Jonas Brothers page. I don't think it's too much of a joke. I don't really know. I think Diplo just don't fuck with him. I don't know. We'll see. It's pretty cool. I think if he does fuck with them and he's just being like, I don't know. I mean, I guess I could see him fucking with Nick, but the other two dudes are goofy as fuck. One of them used to follow me. I just realized yesterday I guess he unfollowed me. I don't really give a fuck too. I mean, fuck the Jonas Brothers. I'm not really tripping on them. But we got a Seahawks game coming up. We need to get our shit together. Lakers about to get started. Got the motherfucking Dodgers popping right now. And I'm thinking we're going to hit the World Series. Homicide don't think we're going to win it. I don't know, man. It's a coin toss for me. What else? Oh, yeah, Donald Trump. I hope this motherfucker gets impeached. It'd be fucking crazy. I didn't do any research or anything, but I could have sworn that someone was saying, and it was like a representative said that he'd be the first U.S. American president to be impeached. Could have sworn Bill Clinton was impeached, wasn't he? I don't know. Again, man. But you know what? It is important that we register to vote. I just started once Barack was going up for office, and we got to go out there and vote. The only thing is, in California, Trump ain't winning in California. He might win other places, but he ain't winning in California. So everyone who's not listening in California, please register to vote. Go out there. If you're over 18, go register and vote if you're in the other 49 states. And what else, man? I can't even think. My mind is so frazzled. I'm so excited about Tokyo. I don't want to fucking bum anybody out, you know. I'm not, but, you know, I do me, you know, regardless. I live my life. And if you don't know, you should know. The best beef in the entire world is not from the cattle in America, North Carolina, or Texas, anywhere you care. I don't give a fuck what you guys think. It's just not, period. It's not up for discussion. There's not, pretty much the first, second, and third place goes to Tokyo or goes to Japan. Japan holds the title, first, second, and third. Maybe even first, second, third, fourth, and fifth. They have the best cattle, the best meat in the world. I haven't had red meat in 4 years, over 4 years, almost going on 4.5 years. And I am going to have red meat when I go to Tokyo. I don't give a fuck. I am going to have some fucking Wagyu. I won't have a lot. I might have like 4 ounces. But yeah, I'm going to have that $75 an ounce of Wagyu. So do the math, $300 just for 4 ounces. You know, the average steak size is like 12, 16 ounces. So you want to do the math on that motherfucker right there. You already know it's going to be $1,200 for a steak. I'm not doing that because last time I did that, I got sick as fuck. And I'm going to connect with this big jeweler out there named Tadashi. This is the guy who sold Floyd Mayweather the $8 million watch that Mr. Flawless, a.k.a. Greg Yuna, was the one who made that connection. I'm doing a dope-ass fucking photo shoot with Murakami. Shout out to Rude for hooking me up with the clothes because I'll be wearing Rude head to toe. You know what I'm saying? Supporting Asians, supporting my Filipino brother Luigi. And my brother Scott. By the way, Scott, I didn't forget about you, bro. We are going to Santa Clara on November 11th. 11-11 Monday Night Football. The motherfucking undefeated bitch-ass, punk-ass, hoe-ass San Francisco 49ers. The fucking bullshit San Francisco treat versus the gangster. The dominant, the motherfucking Seattle Seahawks. I don't know what the fuck to say. Anyway, Scott, we going to the game, bro. Monday Night Football. Don't trip. I'll be at the Ravens game as well. Baltimore Ravens, October 20th. I'm trying to see what Earl Thomas is talking about. You know what I'm saying? And oh yeah, the Rams chain just got put on. The fuck is this dude's name again? We gonna take some motherfucker. I don't give a fuck how long this shit takes. I need to figure out what the fuck. What is this dude's name? Cooper Kupp. Motherfucker's name is Cooper's Kupp. Actually, I know who he is. He's a receiver for the LA Rams, and he got the Snickers chain this week. And congrats to him. He's rocking it. Fuck the Rams. You know what I'm saying? And I know about fucking LA teams. They're just not an LA team, period, to me. Again, people forget when the LA Rams were here, they're in Anaheim and LA. I'm not trying to hear this shit. But yeah, man, I'm excited about Tokyo. I'm excited about all this shit. All this stuff going on. Oh, yeah, man. Shout out again to AJ and Darwin over at AL13 Wheels. Man, AL13. Listen, man, we're going to get into that car episode, and we're going to talk about wheels and air suspension and how everyone's going air ride and fucking up their cars and whatever else. And like, I know for the most part, putting rims or bigger wheels on exotics is like against the rules. You know, it's like a Miami thing, right? And but if you could still drive fast, cool. You know what? A GTC, I don't really plan on doing over 150 in the car. If I do, cool, and it can. Car drives really great. Fucking wheels look amazing. If you haven't checked out my page, check it out now. Again, we dropping this money counter. Again, this Murakami collaboration. Hit up the info at IF & Co. This show was brought to you by Collect and Crep Protect, just so you know. So we're about to get out of here. I'm about to hop on this motherfucking plane. I hope everybody has an amazing weekend. Always remember, this is not your practice life. Being broke is part of the game. Staying broke is some personal shit. That's it. Episode 15 is a wrap. Miles, yo, the Dust Brothers, much love. Throw on that Lakey Lake at Lakey Inspired. Peace, y'all.